Hi everybody, welcome to Sweet and Sour. I'm Slim Jim, your host for tonight, because Gary Mitchell's off celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday, Gary. Happy having a big one. We've got three amazing letters to discuss and pontificate over tonight. The first one, if you discover one of your parents is having an affair, should you confront them? The second letter, is it inappropriate for an older woman to flirt with her friend's adult children? And the third letter, the theme is it ever acceptable to tease your partner by showing an attraction for a third person? Four amazing guests, the other side of this very snappy opening. Look forward to having your company.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Yeah, welcome to Sweet and Sour. We've got a fantastic team of panellists with us. They'll always keep the funny comments happening through all these different letters we have to discuss and so forth. Tony, thank you for being here with us. You're no stranger to Sweet and Sour.
Well, I've actually sat in that chair. Where is Gary, by the way?
He's celebrating his birthday.
Right. I've noticed he no longer rings. He hasn't sent flowers for a long, long time. We never hear from him, but wherever he is, happy birthday, Gary. Hope it's a big one for you.
And how's life on 6PR, Saturday nights?
Thank you for listening. So you tune in from time to time?
I absolutely do listen.
On a way to a gig or coming home from a gig?
Bit of both.
Bit of both.
Bit of both.
So we're there each and every Saturday night and we have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
well, it's great to have you as part of the
nice
panel tonight, Tony.
Thanks, mate.
Stacey, always a pleasure. You're no stranger to Sweet and Sour either. You've appeared on this show many, many a time.
Lots of times, yes.
And also heavily involved in property management. So
I am, yes.
What's the residential market like these days?
It's getting very busy now, so it was quiet for a fair while and lots of rents were going down, but now we're experiencing quite a hike in the rents, so look out people, if you're wanting to lock your lease in, lock it in now, otherwise you'll be paying higher rents.
So the investments are finally paying off?
Finally, yes.
Well, that's good news.
I've been run off my feet for the last 3 weeks, so it's only getting more busy.
It's always a pleasure having you here, Stacey. Now we've got someone new here on the panel for Sweet and Sour. Jade, welcome, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, yes, it's my first time.
That's good. Now tell us about yourself. You've got a business, a makeup business as well as...
Yes.
What else?
Yeah, so I am a professional makeup artist, but also I make a lot of content for Instagram and work with some brands and create some makeup videos. And
is that expanding exponentially for you since you started it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
really good fun and I enjoy it. It's great fun and it's awesome. So I
awesome.
love it. Yeah,
well, thanks for being a part of the show.
Thank you for having
me. Wish you the
me.
best for the future. Clinton,
Thank you.
an old friend of Sweet and Sour. It's lovely to have you here with us.
Mate, my moustache and I are honoured to be here.
So you're obviously trying to raise money for Movember.
I am trying to raise money for Movember.
It's going well.
It's going okay. Don't know if I'll keep it, to be fair, but I'm teamed up with Guys Grooming in the city, so we're up to about $1,000 so far. So
well, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
well, I
not
wish
bad.
you well on that. I hope you get as much money in as you possible. It's a great cause.
Fantastic
and,
cause.
and I do think that the moustache is, quite dashing. So let's get stuck into our first letter.
And a good letter it is too.
Yeah, it certainly is. Everything's rosy. Dear panel, I have always considered my family life the foundation of what a family should be. My parents have such a loving relationship and gave me, my brother and sister, a very charmed and happy upbringing. The thing I treasured most about my upbringing is my parents and how they got along. So many of my friends had to deal with their parents breaking up and were envious of our family. My mum and dad celebrated their 27th wedding anniversary 2 months ago and everyone was mesmerised by how much they were still in love.
So
Last week...
Sorry, so it's going really well up until then, isn't it?
So far.
Okay, great.
This next paragraph is where...
This is where it all goes.
This is where it's going to take a right turn. Last week I was out with my best friend and a few others at a little jazz bar. The night was going so well until one of my friends said in a mild disgust, "That's so off. Those two should get a room." We all turned around to have a look at the guy who looked like he was about to get to third base, and to my horror, that guy was my dad.
There it is.
I turned away pretending I didn't see, and both anger and shock set in. I just wanted to leave. Then one of my friends said that the guy really looks like my dad. Then everybody was fixated on this couple, practically dry humping in public. I just wanted to die. When the light came on, my dad turned to get his jacket off the back of his seat and looked directly at me. The next day and for the last 8 days, he has said nothing as if it didn't happen. I've lost so much respect for him. What I'm most concerned about is my mum. She is so devoted to my dad. I can't bear to be in the same room as him. I'm so conflicted. Do I tell my mum? Given all my friends saw, it's only going to be a matter of time until she finds out anyway. Is the news better coming from me or should I stay out of it? That's from Baron of West Lakes in Adelaide. And Stacey, I want you to give us your thoughts on this very, very heavy letter.
Well, it's a pretty awkward one, but your mother might already know. That's one thing you have to consider. But saying that, if everyone else has seen it and you think she's going to find out anyway, she'll be very annoyed if you don't say something. If she finds out that you know and you didn't say something. So in this instance where everybody else has seen it and it's likely it will get back to your mother, you may have to speak to your dad and say to him that he's got a particular deadline to tell your mother, otherwise you'll be telling her. Put the onus back onto him. He's started it. He can clean the mess up.
Good advice, Stacey. Tony, what are your thoughts?
Well, to me, we assume Baron's a young man.
Sure.
It just seems to me that there is no good going to come out of telling the mother. Wouldn't you at least sort of sit down with the father, presumably you said you've got a pretty good relationship with your dad, and say, what the heck were you thinking, Dad? And can we have a conversation about it? And as God only knows, Jamie, he who is without sin,
of course,
cast the first stone.
Totally.
Now, they might have been old school friends just catching up and reliving a moment.
And maybe this Baron's mother...
There could have been a
and
moment.
maybe Baron's mother's out doing the same thing.
And I'm not too sure about expressions like they were, what does he say, dry humping or whatever. What does that mean?
It's a pleasant experience.
Well, they're good, obviously, just having a bit of a chat.
What does that mean? And about to get to third base, they might have been wiping each other's mouth after having some wings. I don't know.
Just an opportunity for paparazzi to take advantage of.
My recommendation is don't raise it with your mum.
Okay.
Leave your mum out of it.
Well, that's Tony's thoughts. And Clinton?
Well, mate, firstly, I mean, in response to Tony, the third base, dry humping, what that means is Australia Post has taken since 1996 to get this letter to us. They are quite the expressions that Barry's chosen to use.
They certainly are.
But look, to be fair, you have to tell your mum, mate. You have to. She'll be devastated if she finds out any other way.
True.
If she knows then that you knew and didn't say anything, it fractures your relationship as well. No one wants to see their parents on the job, but no one also wants to see their parents hurt, so...
Totally.
Tell her, mate, please.
Very sensitive advice there, Clinton. Jade, you're the final person we're going to ask what your opinion is of that letter.
Okay, well, I'm very brutal and I'm very honest, so I would go straight there, either tell your mum, or first of all, maybe I'd talk to your dad just a little bit and let him know that you're going to tell your mum, and if he doesn't,
give him one
you'll
hour to
be
get
there.
out of the house,
You'll be there. And I have actually had to do this before, not for my mum and my dad, but for a very close friend of mine where I actually caught her partner doing the wrong thing and I had to be the bearer of bad news. But you know what? It just makes your relationship stronger and they'll hate you if you don't tell them.
Good advice, Jade. Very good advice. Now, listen, we went to the general public. And what would they say, for example, if they discovered one of their parents was having an affair? Should they be confronted? 91% said yes.
No.
91%.
to having an affair?
Yes. That's right. That's all for our first segment. Look forward to seeing you on the other side of this break. Thank you. All right. Number 2.
Time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Awesome. Sugar on me.
Back to our second segment here at Sweet and Sour. Before we do, if your letter is judged by this wonderful panel as being the winner tonight, you will go and see a movie called Overlord. Free tickets to Overlord, starring Wyatt Russell. And our thanks go to NRC Communications, Natalie Cameron, who's been a long-time supporter of Sweet and Sour. And we should also mention the fact, if you want to contact us here at Sweet and Sour, there's several ways of doing so. You can do it via the email sweetandsour.net.au, on Facebook, facebook.com/sweetandsour, on Twitter @Sweet and Sour TV, on Instagram at Sweet and Sour TV, and on Snapchat, Sweet and Sour TV. There seems to be a bit of a, a bit of a theme going on there. Do you think?
Do you know what any of that means?
No, not really. But I've taken a good lead from our floor manager. Listen, let's get on to our second letter because this one's an absolute doozy. Hi, Sweet and Sour. This is called titled Mrs. Robinson, I presume.
Here's to you,
Mrs. Robinson. I'm a 20-year-old guy and I haven't had a lot of sexual experiences. That's a bit tragic, really, to start with, isn't it? That's a pretty sad opening line. My dad left when I was 2, and since then it's just been me and my mum. She's a very beautiful woman at 41, has always been sociable and outgoing, and I'm used to her friends being around, although she doesn't often bring solo men into the house. I'm rather shy but friendly to everyone. Over the past 2 months, one of my mum's friends has started flirting with me. She is, I suppose, super hot, and it's not like I don't fantasise about older women, just not this one. It's getting to the point where it's uncomfortable. I feel like I'm being hunted and I have no idea how to divert this predatory woman's attention. Every time she comes over, she finds a way to be alone with me, and her advances are becoming way over the top. Her last attempt was to be topless in my bathroom with the door half open, trying a top on that my mum was loaning her. I couldn't help looking at her fantastic rack, but still, it made me very nervous. Please tell me what is the best way to handle this? It just feels like sexual harassment. And this is from Merrick, all the way from East Fremantle in WA. Now, listen, Tony, I've got to ask you the question.
I have no words.
This letter is so loaded.
Well and truly. So presumably they've done some cooking around the time, and she's talking about a rack of lamb.
No.
Lovely rack of lamb.
No, I think I think he's frankly talking about her breasts.
And then he
a rack a whole person.
And then he talks about, does he not? He talks about the fact that she doesn't often bring a solo man into the house. So presumably, occasionally, his mum does.
Oh, well, we'd only presume.
So this is not absolutely new territory. So here he is, he's 20. This woman presumably is in her 40s. He's not terribly experienced, but he does feel intimidated.
But he does appreciate aspects.
Well, clearly.
Of this, clearly.
And so what's the problem is what I'm asking. Where is that so far a
Well,
problem?
he hasn't had much sexual experience. Here's one way of trying a few things out, at least, isn't
Why
it?
would you even bother writing?
I don't
it's
know.
fine, it'll be fine.
Maybe he's just trying to
with the
relieve his
flow.
conscience. Maybe he's just trying to relieve his conscience. Maybe.
Yeah, can you imagine, just before he dies, in another 60 or 70 years,
Oh, Stacey, come on
just
now.
before he dies, he goes, thank God I didn't look at them.
Stacey, what should Merrick do?
Well,
what should Merrick do?
There's a couple of things in the letter that I think that jump out. Like, he fantasises about older women, but not this one. Her advances are over the top, and he feels like he's being hunted. So obviously he's not very comfortable with this woman who's, kind of stalking him, if you like. So maybe he should just tell her to get lost, and rather forcefully, or tell his mum to not let her be near him, or just tell his mum to get rid of her. Like, she sounds like a full-blown stalker.
Full-blown cougar.
She sounds like a full-blown freak. I mean, I wouldn't be hunting my friend's sons. That's disgusting.
Oh, well.
Jay, what do you think
She's a
about
freak.
this?
Well, I know that love has got no age limit. I understand that, but I mean, he's obviously not in love with her. He hasn't mentioned anything like that. So do you really want to go through the embarrassment of your mum finding out that you slept with her friend for a one-night thing, someone that you're never going to be involved with? I mean, that's just embarrassing. You can't do that.
But what if it was the start of just a lovely relationship?
Well,
The words.
you don't know until you try, but he has to figure out if it's worth the embarrassment of his mum or what she's going to think of him. But you know what? If it makes him happy, do it. But it's just a little bit questionable. I mean, there's so many other people. Go get Tinder. Go get an app. You walk down the street. You're 20, so there's plenty of people. Plenty of people are out there for you. So
Have you tried Tinder, Clint?
I have not. I am going to try to sue Merrick for copyright because Super Hot with a Fantastic Rack's my Instagram handle, mate. So I'm not sure what I do there. But look, maybe this is all just a misunderstanding.
I'm with you.
Thank you, Tony. Maybe look, how do you know the door wasn't half open, the lock might be broken.
Oh my God.
The lock on that door might be broken. How do you know that she is pursuing you like you say, mate? Maybe she's just friendly. I want to give this woman the benefit of the doubt, only because if you are wrong and you bring it up with your mum, that's going to be awkward for everybody concerned if you are incorrect about the situation.
Well, let's see how awkward this result's going to be, because is it inappropriate for an older woman to flirt with her friends' adult children? It was tied at 50 each way. 50% said yes and 50% said no.
50% of stalkers, that's why.
That would
Well,
change.
Or opportunists.
Yeah, well,
Stacey.
that's pretty incredible, really. I mean, you think about it, though, it's quite apt because it was a bit of a split decision here on the panel as well. That's all for our second segment. Back after this break. Look forward to your company.
Might be misunderstanding my eye.
Sweet and sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
And welcome back for the third time to this episode of Sweet and Sour. We've got a great panel. Let's get them working straight away with this very intense letter. Dear Sweet and Sour, a kiss is a kiss. My girlfriend of 6 months and I've been pretty happy. Just before we began seeing each other, however, she had gotten out of a pretty serious relationship that she had with another girl. I didn't know it was a girl until about a month ago when we bumped into her ex at a club we were in. This girl came up to her on the dance floor, looked at me, and then gave her the longest kiss on the lips. At first, I was like, wow, this is hot. But then my girl looked back to me with the biggest turned-on smile and said, I'd like you to meet my ex. I pretended I was cool with all this lesbian stuff, but I'm not sure I am. And despite being reassured that their relationship is all over, it's made me feel very insecure about our relationship. I'm jealous, but I'm also confused. If I was to kiss another girl in front of her, isn't that the same form of disrespect? Why is it different for her kissing another girl? To be honest, I'm too anxious about this to work out whether to leave or if it's a good thing, as my brother keeps telling me. I think your brother's got something to say there. Josh from Glen Waverley in Victoria.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Clinton, what do you have to say about that?
Mate, well, firstly, Josh, it's not the same in real life as the old Pornhub, is it? The old lesbian stuff. Not that cool when it happens in real life, mate. Look, both of those girls are completely and utterly in the wrong. It's disgusting, really. I mean, is it disrespectful to kiss another girl? Disrespectful to kiss anyone in front of you, mate. Doesn't matter whether it's a girl or a boy. I mean, not to start a race, gender war or anything, but I think girls will sometimes use this, as he puts it, lesbian stuff.
Yeah.
As almost a get out of jail free card.
Sure.
Thinking they can do it and get away with it because the blokes will love it.
Well, they both go to the toilet together, normally. This is it, you know.
They go in groups and packs.
They go,
Jamie.
I'm hearing this.
We can only imagine what goes on in there.
I can't
Write in and
imagine.
tell us. But yeah, so it's completely and utterly disrespectful. The ex was wrong for initiating it in the first place,
Sure.
but your missus is wrong for actually accepting it, not pushing her away. So don't get caught up thinking you're going to have this hot Pornhub experience with these two birds. You need to speak to your missus and go, it's not on.
Fair enough. Jay, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think that it's definitely not the same as you kissing another girl because you are the opposite sex, and I know that, you know, people are lesbian or that's fine, but at the end of the day she's choosing to be in a relationship with you, so she obviously wants to be with a guy at that point. So if you were to kiss another girl, that is not on, personally, but I just think, why don't you ask her yourself and just be open and honest. There's nothing wrong with asking, and just say, look, do you want to either make this a three-way or we'll just call it quits and I'll leave you with her?
Don't ask, don't
That's
Simple.
escalated, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, before we go any
It
further, before I
has.
influence Stacey and Tony's comments, I should mention the fact that the audience out there have had their say, they've had your say, their say. Is it ever acceptable to tease your partner by showing an attraction for a third person? 11% said yes,
We gotta
but
keep people on their toes.
but 89% said no.
Do we have
It's-
the
11%
details of those 11%?
Yeah.
Only five people are involved in the survey.
That's all I need.
Well, you know, this is what I'm getting at. Stacey, what are your thoughts? Is that those percentiles swayed your opinion of this? What
No,
you're going
because
to
they're
say?
the 11% that have done it, that's why. They're the
Okay.
guilty parties.
It's a minority.
Yeah, they're the guilty parties.
I
With
disagree.
this one...
There'd be more than 11. Let me assure you, I've been
Yeah.
around a lot longer than all of you. There's more than 11%
Okay.
that have had a fling at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just hiding it.
Agreed.
They're just hiding it. So with this letter, the girlfriend has done the wrong thing. because whether she's gay or straight or whatever, when you're going out with someone, you don't kiss somebody else.
So it's monogamous.
right.
And
Complete
yeah, and the
monogamy.
fact of the matter, maybe she thought it was okay because she's now with a guy. She thought it was okay that she did that because
It's not the same.
yeah,
Same sex, yes.
yeah, because she thought, oh, hang on, I'm with a guy now, so I can kiss the girl. That's no problem.
But is it the girlfriend's ex-girlfriend making a point more so than the
yeah,
girlfriend
she's just
making a
being
point?
an idiot.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, or probably just saying, oh look, I can get her, whatever.
Yeah.
But what the boyfriend needs to do is talk to her and say, how would you feel if I kissed my ex-girlfriend? Would you like that, or can I go and give a big tonguey to a girl? Would you like that? And she'll go, oh my God, no, I wouldn't like that.
Or a guy.
Same
Maybe
thing.
she pash one
Or
of his
a guy.
mates next time he goes out.
That's true.
Well, he probably doesn't want to pash one of his mates, but if he pashes
have
some
ugly
chick or
mates.
something,
beard rash.
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
he'll be annoyed.
Or find his
She'll be
ex
annoyed.
at the club.
That's right.
Yeah, or
That's
just
right.
go, even if he went and pashed a random.
What do you think, Tony?
Does anybody remember the great TV series Friends?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
And one of the great characters in that was Joey. And Joey, I was watching an episode recently where Joey got word that Rachel had in the past had a fling with a girlfriend at college.
Okay.
And so what was going on in his head was just as good. We didn't see anything and they only talked about it, but it was just, he was mesmerised by the idea.
Okay.
I'm with Joey.
Yeah,
I'm with Joey.
Very simple.
I'm with
Is that it?
Joey. Huh?
how you doing?
And how
you doing?
And he go, how you doing? And then he looked at Rachel very differently for the rest of the series. It was just fantastic. I don't see any major drama about it.
Oh my God.
Really,
I think it's a guy and a girl thing, maybe.
it might, well,
Yeah.
it may well be, but there's a great expression. It's not what happens, it's what you make what happens mean.
Ah, okay.
That's my
deep.
say.
That's a bit Buddhist
That is-
like, wasn't
His
it?
girlfriend was, I
Tony,
think.
fantastic, you know. Sage-like advice.
That's it.
Now listen, so we got the percentages again. So 11% said yes. That is it ever acceptable to tease your partner showing an attraction? Yes, 11%, and 89% said no. So really, it's sort of a split
But I'm
decision.
Tony, it'd be higher than that if people were
Yeah,
honest.
it'd be high.
Well,
Yeah.
just giving the right answer.
Well, their partner's probably there while they're answering this survey, and so they
course
got to
they are. They're gonna give the right answer,
you
aren't
know.
they?
Now, I'm going to put you people on the spot. So, the winning letter tonight? Everything's rosy. Our first letter, you know, regarding the what was it? Oh, yes, the father having an affair. The second, Mrs. Robinson, where
Yeah,
someone's.
that 20-year-old guy, he needs to get out of the house.
Yeah, I was going to say he needs to.
Poor old Merrick to shade himself from the
That's true.
breasticles that might occur.
He needs to
See,
find
if I
another
was feeling that was
girl.
happening, you wouldn't want to leave home, would you?
Never
You'd
be
just
out
stay
the door.
All right.
You know, she might be a bit of a horror.
So letter one, who reckons letter one is our letter of the week? Number
No.
two or
I'm
number
going
three?
two.
What?
He needs to get
I'm
out
going
the
letter
He
two.
needs to
I'm
get
going
out.
letter two. I'm letter two.
Go
Letter
find
two's
yourself
our
a
winner.
date.
I don't know whether they're going to win, but I'm sure it's going to be substantial. Listen, it's been a wonderful opportunity meeting you people and seeing you people here on the panel again.
It's nice to be
Tony,
here,
thank
mate.
you very much. Saturday nights on 6BR.
Every Saturday night, right through until midnight. Tune in for
Awesome.
love songs. Do love songs after 11.
Love songs. I love it.
Fantastic.
Stacey, all the best. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
the property market's going to keep you busy for a lot longer.
It will.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
Lovely to meet
Thank
you,
you
Jane.
for
I hope it
having
goes
me.
really well. And
Thank you
Clinton,
so much.
Mate,
good luck with the fundraising with that Movember.
it's not just on my face either, Jamie.
Where else are you throwing a mo, Clint?
Well, my imagination
No one's
is
donating
running
to that
amok.
one, though.
So we should finish up by singing Happy Birthday to Gary Mitchell.
We should.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gary. Happy birthday to you. All the best, Gary. All
See
the
you,
best.
Gary. We love
Ladies and
you.
gentlemen,
We love
viewers
you,
out
guys.
there.
We love you.
Thanks for being a part of this week's Sweet and Sour. God bless. Good night.
Good night.